God bless you, my friend. This is Pastor Eric D. Reynolds, pastor of the House of Prayer Church of Deliverance, located in Bear, Delaware, 1700 5 Dancer Lane, right here in the city of God, the first state. We want to encourage you today from a thought that the Spirit of God placed in us concerning Thanksgiving. I know you're getting ready for Thanksgiving with the turkeys and the family and etc., and all this is good. But I want to bring something to your heart, brothers and sisters, that allow you to meditate on being thankful unto God. Because truly, that's what Thanksgiving is all about. Being thankful unto God. We have so much to be thankful for, but in a time like this, brothers and sisters, we also live in a generation and time where many are ungrateful. I'm reminded of the words of the Apostle Paul, who prophesied concerning the end time, that in the last days perilous times shall come. Men shall be lovers of themselves, proud, boasters, blasphemers, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. He said they will be unholy, unthankful. Another interpretation is ungrateful. Can you imagine in a time like this that God is manifesting his glory in the hearts and the lives of his people, that so many are unthankful? Brothers and sisters, I'm sure you that are parents can bear with me and understand that nothing gets under your skin like having a young child, a young person particularly, that's ungrateful. Have you ever offered everything you can and everything you set out to do? Nothing seems to be satisfactory to them. They're ungrateful. Now, when someone is ungrateful, it does not move you in passion to want to do for them over and over again. But we thank God, my brothers and sisters, that the Lord God of the heavens is so merciful unto us. I want to share with you, and I want to encourage you from St. John, the 6th chapter, the story of how Jesus took 2 fish, 5 loaves of bread, and multiplied and fed a multitude of people. Now you know the story. The Bible teaches that Jesus was teaching and ministering, and the hours had passed by, and the stores were gone shut. Then Jesus turned to one of his apostles, Philip by name, and asked a question. Philip, what are we going to do to feed the people? Philip, knowing in his heart that he had no answer at the time, began to be very puzzled that the Lord would ask him about feeding the people. Philip said, well, 200 pence worth are not enough for all of these people. Jesus, the Bible said, he himself, St. John the 6th chapter and verse 6, he himself knew what he would do. I want to encourage you right now, and I want to let you know that oftentimes you may not know what God is up to, but God himself knows what he's going to do. The Bible said, and this he said to prove him, to test him. That's why God asks you a question, just to test and see whether or not you'll believe him. But he himself knew what he would do. Notice something here. The Bible said, after a while, that there came someone to Jesus. Lord, there's a lad here who had 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, but what is that among so many people? Oh, I want to encourage you that all you need to do is offer the Lord just that little bit. I'm disappointed that so many people often say, well, I don't have just but a little bit. I don't have but just a little money. I want you to know, if you will be grateful and be thankful with the little bit, God is able to take that and multiply it and make much out of it. Why? Because there is a spirit of thanksgiving that ascends up to heaven that causes God to dispatch his angel when people are thankful. May I remind you of Luke the 17th chapter, where the Bible said Jesus is passing through the city, and there he finds 10 lepers, all 10 lepers. The Bible said they were leprosy, and in their leprosy we understand that they stood afar off, which meaning they was at a distance. Why? Because in biblical times, when you was possessed or you was plagued with leprosy, you was given the outskirts of the city to live. So when Jesus is coming into the city, they were on the outskirts of the city. Now the Bible said, and they lifted up their voice. Look at it closely. And they lifted up their voice. Jesus, have mercy on us. Now you might wonder, why did they lift up their voice? I tell you why they lifted up their voice. Because no doubt they were in the latter part of the stage of leprosy, whereby it affected your throat. So can't you imagine that now all 10 of the lepers are doing what I call the leper's choir. The leper's choir is singing. And the Bible said, and they lifted up their voice together. They lifted up their voices. What did they say? Jesus, have mercy on us. The Bible said Jesus got their attention, or they got his attention. And when Jesus Jesus heard them, he turned and said, go show yourself to the priest. Go show yourself to the priest. And while they were going, they were cleansed. The Bible said one of them, when he realized he was cleansed, turned back. What did he do? He turned back. In other words, he thought more of the blesser than the blessing. He thought more of the blesser than the blessing. And he said, I can go to the priest anytime and get a certificate of cleansing. But right now, I'm going back to the blesser. I'm going back to the healer. And I want him to know that I'm thankful for what he did. Here is a lesson to us, my brothers and sisters. There comes a time in your life that God is looking for you to make an effort to come back and tell him thank you. Notice now, the Bible said when this man came back, that he fell at the feet of Jesus